That is what this pod is going to be. Because Frank Clark, extra spicy. Was Russell Wilson spicy? We'll dive into that. And I think that we are going to disagree about a lot of things on this podcast. And it was sizzling out there today. And it's a Saturday, and we're here. Saturday afternoon. Hope you got a Breck Brew in your hand joining us today as we break down the final day of practice of the first week of training camp for the Broncos. Isn't that crazy?
It's really crazy.
It went fast.
It went very fast.
And maybe you could say it's just the second day. You could say it's the fourth day. You could say it's the final day before pads come on Monday. Pads are on. We're going to be back tomorrow, day off for the players. So we will not be here, but we've got a full practice to talk about. How you guys feeling?
I think I broke my toe yesterday.
Oh, geez.
So I'm not feeling
this
good.
again, huh?
He broke it on the Compete Street sign.
Oh,
That would
I should
be-
tell him.
You should sue is what you should
Yeah,
do. You should
222,
hire.
222.
Yeah.
That's my twos. Might have been too many twos.
Smash the two.
It's just a bunch of twos till it tells you to call. But yeah, I was just walking around, and I know it's just dumb. Like, you can either be the kind of person who leaves things all over your floor, or the kind of person who like gets to walk around at night without having to worry about things.
Yeah.
I tried to do both and just kicked a dumbbell, and now my foot's all purple.
Wow.
I like that you called yourself dumb.
I didn't call. Well, I am dumb.
Yeah.
Did I call myself dumb
Kind
too?
of,
I
yeah.
believe it.
It's
I
okay.
deserve it. It
How
was a
big
dumb
of a
thing to
dumbbell
do.
are we talking?
10 pounds.
Wow. Oh, Henry.
Oh.
Yeah,
I know.
that's when you say like 100. You just
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if it was 100 pounds, it's just gonna have to stay there because I'm not getting it up. It's gonna be on the floor.
I'm
forever.
trying to help you out here, Henry, and you're just putting yourself down even more.
Yeah. Well, and the thing was, it was like fine during practice, and then as soon as practice was over, I was like, "Oh, this really hurts." And I started walking. I was like, "Oh my god, this really hurts." And then I went home and parked, and I had to walk down the stairs out of the parking garage.
I feel so bad
And I was like,
for
"Well, this would be worth it to go get ice." And so I ice it and walk right back up the stairs. Terrible.
So
Terrible.
you were
Yeah,
just trying to get out of
terrible.
work. That's what you
I'm
were
not
trying
trying
to
to
do.
get out
You
of
were like
work.
fine in practice, and then once the
Yep.
podcast comes around, you're like, I gotta sit this.
You're like,
one
now that
Yeah.
Alexis is around, I guess I
Right.
can just show up. Yeah.
That's true. I probably could have gotten away with that.
No, you couldn't.
Oh.
No, we need you. We
Yeah.
need you to disagree wholeheartedly with Zach today.
Oh,
So
good. I can do that.
Before we
I'm so
dive
uncomfortable.
into
I know, it's tough.
today, how fast is Russell Wilson? Because Alexis and Ryan was not there, but Ryan wanted your opinion on how fast Russell Wilson was, because Alexis and I both yesterday said he's faster than last year.
Yep.
But he looks like a 34-year-old more mobile quarterback where he can still move, but he's 34, 35 years old. That's how Alexis and I saw him. You, on the other hand, are saying Lamar Jackson 2.0?
No, not Lamar Jackson 2.0. Wouldn't he have to be like 0.0 because he came first? Maybe not. It doesn't really matter. The point is, I thought he looked fast. Like, I watched him and said, he looks fast. I thought, there was the big hole that opened up after, I think Powers was like blocking one side and Lloyd was pushing on the other side. Just a massive hole. And both the linebackers split. And I thought that one of them was going to get him. Like, I thought they were going to be able to like swing in a real game, would have like grabbed his ankles or something. But I thought like he changed the angle on him. I thought he pulled away a little bit. Like, that was going to be a 20-yard run. And I don't think either of those guys are catching him from behind.
I think Tom Brady goes for 10 yards on that, just to show how much room there was in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
I'd give him 7. Current Tom Brady 7.
That
I
still
don't
shows
know.
just how big the hole was.
It was a
though.
massive hole.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was an
Offensive
incredible.
line.
It was
And
massive.
this isn't to take away from Russ. It was
No.
it was a great read, because he saw right away. He probably saw his first look, saw the hole, and said, "Boom! I'm taking off running." You want that,
Exactly.
but I think it
Definitely.
was because of the offensive line. You know what's interesting? We didn't see Russ run once today.
Not at all.
After yesterday, that was the storyline.
I think a lot of it was that there just wasn't as much pressure. There was that one stretch during, I think, the second team period where the pressure kind of kicked up. But yeah, I mean, isn't that shocking to say,
What?
right?
Practice? No, I'm.
Wait, what practice did you watch?
Are you talking about yesterday or today?
Today.
You're talking
Wait,
about today.
you
There
did
wasn't
thought-
much pressure.
You thought there was a lot of pressure today? That
A
first
ton.
team period was clean.
Henry,
That
when,
second team period.
the first team period when
The-
okay, let's dive
When
into this.
Nick-
when Nick
Let's
Bonito
yes,
sacked
yes,
Russell Wilson?
yes. Let's
Okay.
dive into this, and let's start with our how back is
Okay.
Russ
Okay, yes.
meter here. And let's see where it falls. Let's see where it falls. Henry, where do you think it should fall? Let's dial this up. And Henry, where would you put it? Where's it land? So,
Wait. Is that how it works? Stop. There we go. Yes, there we go.
Look at that. It listened to you. It knows.
Wow.
The
it
graphic
did.
knows.
The graphic
Alexis,
can
is
hear.
this where you would have had it too?
You know, I think so. We didn't see Mr. Unlimited yet. I think Russell Wilson, we're still probably a couple weeks away from the Russell Wilson. Yeah, I don't think he was Mr. Unlimited quite yet. So he has to be. But he wasn't like yesterday. He wasn't let's ride Russ.
One thing we can all agree about before we
Big
just
improvement.
disagree about everything is he definitely improved. He bounced back.
Definitely.
To what extent we're going to get into, but I also agree. We all agree that he was mid. Isn't that what the kids say these
That's
days?
what the kids say.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, mid.
You guys-
Yeah.
But
I'm
that
the
might mean
worst person to
good.
ask.
Does that
Yeah.
mean good or does that just mean average? Because I think it's
Mid, middle.
confusing. It
It's
does
like-
mean mid.
yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm on the lingo. So Russ
You
was
are on the
Russ was
lingo.
mid today. Yesterday he was bad. Well, improvement. Isn't that what you look for? Isn't that what you ask your kids? Isn't that what you ask your quarterback?
1%
Isn't that what
better
you
each
ask
and
your
every day.
dog? Yeah, just a little bit better. And Russ did that. Took actually 2 steps today.
He did. And the 7-on-7s is where he was really good. Like, that's what you're watching. And, like, he didn't miss a throw. And
Yeah.
I know Zach has, like, we'll get into the
Let's
one
get
throw he
into
thought was a bit
it.
off.
There were 4 throws in 7-on-7, right?
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
technically not supposed to give stats, but yeah.
No, we're not. We didn't say he went. We didn't say exactly what he did.
That's
we
true.
said there were 4 plays.
That is true. But there was one drop. But he didn't miss a throw.
He didn't miss a throw. Let's just break them down.
Yeah.
We can break these down. So 7-on-7, it's when there's no offensive lineman, no defensive lineman, there's no pass rush, and this is supposed to be for the offense to win. The 7-on-7s are designed for the offense to dominate, so that's important to put it out there.
Okay.
And when the defense dominates one of these, we'll say that exact same thing, just how impressive it was. And it's 7-on-7. You do take that with more of a grain of salt than you would team. Team's the most important thing when evaluating these. The very first pass in 7-on-7, he hit Tim Patrick right in the middle of the field for 10 yards. Good throw, tight coverage. There were like 3 defenders there. It was
Yeah.
like, let's
Great
go.
catch by Tim.
It
as well.
was.
Definitely.
It was. Really good to see Tim back out there. That's multiple days when he's been full go.
Yep. And it was he pulled back to get that ball in there too. Like that was like the cover 3, so you have like the 2 linebackers. He has sat between them, just bang, and the safety was coming up too. Like if that ball was any slower, it's not getting there.
Yep. Next play, probably the most controversial that we're going to have on this podcast. 7-on-7, Samaje Perine coming out of the backfield, wide open as a player can be on the right side down the field, coming on a wheel route out of the backfield. Must have been blown coverage, or a guy slipped or something.
Yeah.
It was Damari. It was cover 3, but he stepped up onto the receiver and just left nobody back there.
It's a great play design, or either great play
It worked.
design or poor defense.
Great call to run it at Damari, I guess. It worked out.
What?
It was a great call to run it to that side.
Yeah.
Damari couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said he stepped up too.
Yep.
So probably play design. Seeing Sean
I like
Payton
that. I like
come
that.
up right
I
there.
think it's probably
So Samaje is wide open, and Russell Wilson, good on him. He finds the wide open guy, throws it to him. In my opinion, he way underthrew him. It was caught, but it would have been a 30-yard gain because the safety was coming over. I think it was Justin right there who would have tackled him pretty much right away. 30-yard gain instead of an easy 50, 60, 70-yard touchdown if he would have hit him in stride.
Yeah. And I had that written down as a touchdown. So
So
just
did you not
disagree
have
there.
it as an underthrow?
I didn't notice an underthrow. I mean, I wasn't really looking for that in particular, but I mean, he didn't have to stop and turn around or anything.
I saw him stop and turn around.
You think so?
This is interesting.
He was
This
off
is
the go.
interesting.
Like there
Alexis,
was no.
do you-
No, I
what
feel
did
like-
you see?
I mean, I saw personally. I feel
Okay.
bad because I feel like this is going to become like a Gang Up on Hank
It's-
show.
We're
and, like,
trending that way.
it's kind of trending that way. It did seem slightly underthrown to me.
Wow, you've really taken the middle ground here. Slightly
Yeah, it was
underthrown.
slightly underthrown. I don't think it was incredibly underthrown, but it was slightly underthrown where there was a hitch then in his stride. He
Okay.
wasn't in stride.
So I give Russ a lot of credit for finding the open guy. How many times last year was there a wide open guy right in front of him that he just completely missed, and we're screaming at him?
time.
So at least he found the open guy, and it wasn't just a guy right in front of him 5 yards down the field. It was a guy on the opposite side of the field, 30 yards downfield. So I do
Yeah.
give Russ a lot of credit. As I think, Alexis, you mentioned yesterday on the podcast, Russ has struggled with the deep ball in practice so far. And so I wasn't surprised to see him struggle again with it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't think it was a bad throw.
Okay, interesting.
I think it was
It
fine.
wasn't perfect.
I was standing next to Troy Rank, and he did say it was underthrown. Maybe you could say it was just Troy and I feeding off each other.
Yeah.
But that was the only other perspective that I got on this. And then the next play, you talked about how there was a drop. Jerry Jeudy had a drop. What, a 5 yard pass just went right through his hands. It was a good ball from Russ. It should have been caught.
Yep.
And then what I liked the very next play
He heard footsteps.
was, yeah, he did. It was a lot of people there.
He
the
hears
very
footsteps kind of often. That's kind
don't like
of a
that.
trend with Jerry, yeah.
Well, he's got good feet. So
He
maybe
does.
it's just something
He's in
like
tune.
built into his body.
Yeah.
It's all about the feet.
Yeah.
All of
Because the very next play, he was wide open on the left side for what would have been, I think, like a 20-yard out. And I love that Russ went right back to Jerry Jeudy after missing it, and then he goes and finds Jeudy. Good ball, good ability for Jeudy to get open, and it would have been definitely a first down.
Yeah, and that's what was nice because yesterday there was so many checkdowns. Like every throw was such a short throw. And on that same play, he had the tight end just sitting out there in the flat who was also just coming wide open. Decided not to throw it to him, threw it to Jerry, who it was Isang Bassi in coverage for what it's worth. But yeah, it was just perfect throw. I had 15 yards, 15, 20
I tried
yards.
to talk to Isang Bassi today, but instead you got a great interview with PJ.
That's true. You'll get Isang on Monday probably.
I think so. I'm going to try. I figured my goal was to kind of, yesterday we talked to Alex Singleton, who's obviously a guy, he already got his bag, has
Love
very little
Alex.
to prove. Where now I want to talk to a guy who has a lot to prove this year and is working for a roster spot. So we'll get a little mix. Sorry. That's
No,
the plug for
I love
Monday.
that. And this is just a reminder for those that are new to the program, tuning in for the first time or one of the first times. We do this show on YouTube. We also turn into a podcast after, so if you need to listen to it, you can check out podcast DNVR Broncos. You can anywhere find it just by looking at Broncos. We're the first one that pops up. And we also have a YouTube channel where we're dropping videos. We're dropping TikToks and shorts. We have TikToks. We have a Twitter. So we are everywhere. If you want the most up-to-date information, just check out, make sure you're following all of our socials. So would have been 4 for 4, as we said, during 7-on-7. Then the next team period... Probably Russell Wilson's best play. What?
Oh, no, that was it. That was it.
That was
the next
it?
play was Stidham, yeah.
Okay. Then the next team period, the first team period, I should say, Russell Wilson only threw the ball once. And Hank, tell us about that throw.
It was to Court up the left sideline with Pat Surtain in coverage. And I wasn't like watching that in particular, so I'm not sure how he got as much space as he did. It must have been some sort of like comeback or something on the sideline. But that was 15 yards is what I had written down off of Pat Surtain too.
I mean, I saw Russ scrambling a little bit. He then stepped up into the pocket and threw an absolute dart across his body to Cortland Sutton, who threw the little two-tap McGee in there. You know what I mean?
It was a great pass by Russ. I loved Russ stepping up in the pocket. He manipulated the pocket well, and Court extended and then did the, what'd you say, the two-tap McGee? He did the two-tap McGee on the side.
did.
I mean, a great play by Cortland Sutton. A very good throw by Russell Wilson.
That was off play action too.
The two-toe tap McGee. Like,
Two-toe tap McGee.
I'm making stuff up over here. Okay. It was a great play.
It was.
It's pretty.
But in a game, it wouldn't have happened.
No, Nick Benito.
Nick
Oh, you thought he got there.
Oh, I
It
did.
was
Interesting, okay.
I think it was very obvious that he got. I mean, Nick
Okay.
Or he
Nick,
would have like.
it probably would have been
Okay.
could have been a strip sack
Yeah.
because Nick Benito. What did we talk about yesterday, Alexis? We talked about how Russell Wilson constant pressure because he didn't have his 2 starting offensive tackles.
Yep.
Mike McGlinchey out again today. We'll talk about him in a second. Garrett Bowles was back. Nick Benito coming off the left side of the offensive line just torched Garrett Bowles, went completely around him. So he ran around him where he probably would have been hitting Russell Wilson's arm with the ball. And so it could have been a strip sack. I absolutely think it would have been a strip sack, or at least a sack, because Benito really, really, really let up. But then Russ did a good job of stepping up in the pocket, feeling that pressure. I still think the pressure would have got there. But that was the only throw in that one.
Yep.
And to me, it was a good pass by Russell Wilson. But it just wouldn't have happened in a game,
Okay. Yeah, it's fair.
in my opinion.
I wasn't watching that part. There was the play action, so I was watching where
Fair.
the linebackers went.
Fair.
But yeah, that could be, and I'm definitely adding that to the notes.
And then,
Do you need a pen?
Yes.
and then there was another team period, and in this team period, I'm very curious what Henry was watching here, because this is when it was pressure, terrorized
Yep.
Russ, at least in my opinion. The very first play, Russell Wilson was sacked from outside on both sides, and then from inside to the point where he didn't even throw the ball. You never see that in practice.
Yeah.
Even if it's a sack, the quarterback still throws the ball. He didn't throw the ball. So pressure just got there right away. I think it was a blitz from the inside. Can't say too much. But, I mean, it got home right away.
It did. And I didn't see who it was blitzing, but it was Jonathan Cooper and Jonathan Harris.
The
Two
Jonathan.
Huh, that's kind of
Johnny
fun.
boys.
Yeah.
Spelled differently.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is why you can't make
Asian.
like a shirt or something.
Yeah, there's an H in one and a Jon, Jonathan.
There's an A in
Jonathan.
one and an O in the other. And you know which one has the O? There's a trick for this.
Yeah.
There's a nice little key
It's a good
for
trick.
this. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
tell me.
Jonathan
Thon.
Cooper
Yep.
has an O
O's.
because
So
his
many O's.
so many O's and number 0.
Got it.
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Yeah, number 0.
I also really just realized that I don't think I know how to spell Jonathan. As I just tried to, I'm like, hold on, like,
Jonathan.
It's wild how brains work where like something that you do.
I was like, because I kept saying that there's an H. There's an H in both. Jonathan.
Yeah, with
Yep.
the T.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
yeah.
Right after.
Just not the first age.
Okay, guys.
Like John.
This is one of those moments where I'm like, are we live? Like,
Yeah.
Can we cut this part?
It's just so hot. And we were out there so
Thon.
early.
This is so hot right
I'm also
now.
It's crazy.
so
Oh my
hungry.
goodness.
Okay. I'm
Jonathan
done.
Cooper was great yesterday too, though.
Yeah.
That's 2 days of really good Jonathan Cooper.
And
And
maybe-
Jonathan Harris, too.
Yeah,
Both
it's true.
Jonathans. The
and
camp
maybe
of Jonathan.
an off season of good that he's building off of too for Cooper.
Well, I think that's fair.
Something to keep an eye on because the very next play, I have it down that Russell Wilson was sacked, and then typically, like what happens, he then threw the ball to Jerry Jeudy for like a 5-yard gain. But I had it that he was sacked on back-to-back plays to start. Did you not have a sack there, Henry?
I was. Oh wait, no, I'm on the wrong page. Yeah, I didn't have who had the sack, but that's when I took the note where the second team series.
But
they're falling apart.
No pressure. No pressure in this practice.
There were so many times when it felt like there wasn't pressure.
We're talking about
I know.
3 straight
We're
team plays.
like
The
2
only
of the
3
three.
team plays that we've talked about so far.
Maybe it's
all
worse than I
3 of them
remembered.
have been sacks. It's been 3 team
Yeah.
plays, 3 sacks.
Were you
And
distracted during this period?
I was
Shocking.
very locked in.
did you get heat stroke?
I know.
I probably did get
Do you
heat
need
stroke.
water? You have a
That,
smart
that was
water.
the rough.
Did
This
you
is
get
no
that?
longer smart water. This is now
Oh, damn.
water from my sink in the water bottle they get. I feel
okay.
bad just throwing it away right away.
That,
good.
That is
Yeah.
that's very
You
respectable
could
of
just
you,
do a
Henry.
reusable like me. This-
That's
this
also
old
true.
honker.
Is tap water bad for you? Isn't
No.
there like a thing about that? Where it's
I
like
don't-
if
I
you don't
hope
filter
not.
it or something?
That's all I drink.
Depends on where you live.
Colorado's
See,
supposed to be
stuff
like
like
the best
that.
tap water.
There's like a billboard. Oh boy, I don't know my streets. Maybe it's like 18th
Oh,
Street.
jeez. You're buying into ads, aren't you now, Henry?
Well, but it's from Denver Water. It's like denverwater.org says
Oh, okay.
filter your baby's formula water before you drink it. So I was
Oh.
like, if the water company is saying to filter their water, that's
So
Kinda
there is
crazy.
there is something
Yeah.
there
Oh,
is
it's probably
something
like
in
spring
Denver
water.
where I don't know what percent it is, but decent amount of Denver they found lead in the pipes. And so those
Okay.
houses, they do send you actually like a water filter that
Oh.
you're supposed to put on.
so then I'm fine if they send one.
Exactly. Yeah.
There we
you
go.
are fine.
Yeah, if it's not in your mailbox, you're good.
There we
Yeah.
go. I need to check my mail.
Go check
Oh,
your mailbox.
geez. Maybe you're not good, Henry.
Oh, Henry, this is why
put that
Hank's
back
a little
over there.
off.
That
'cause
could
he's
be-
just poisoning himself and
I
then
know,
going out
between
to
that and
practice.
this damn toe.
Henry, let's see how you dissect this next play. What was the third play of that second team period?
Was that the Tim Patrick catch?
For about how long?
I just have short catch. Bassey was there. Oh, I did have 5 yards.
Okay, yeah, I had 6
Yeah.
yards. Tim on the left side of the field. So
Yeah,
you were right
there we
on
go.
that. So
Yep.
we agree on that one. And then that was the
Yay.
end of that team period. And then the next team
Oh.
period. What?
Oh, passing wise.
Yeah, passing wise. We're talking about Russ right here. And Henry, I think you might need some food. I think that might be. It's either food or water that's
He's
kind of
hangry.
throwing you
Yeah.
off. Yeah,
Okay.
you're hangry, maybe a little foggy, and you need a factor. You need a factor meal kit.
Wow.
In fact, speaking of checking your mail, have you checked your mail for the factor meal kit?
Wait, yes.
Okay, good. Or else
I
you're
hope
going to
they
be
didn't
like,
send a second.
Oh.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Or
either.
else you're going to open it up and it is
We're
going to
gonna
be
find out.
moldy. But
Yeah.
Factor meal kits, oh my gosh, they are the absolute best. I've seen them everywhere. So many people have them. I finally got my first one, and I'll tell you what, fantastic. Delicious food, and it takes 2 minutes to heat up, and you're getting cacio e pepe in the mail.
Whoa.
You're getting
Can you
little
say that again?
cacio pepe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they say it in Italy.
Okay,
I'll have to
yeah.
ask Trey on that.
Give me, like, ratatouille vibes.
Getting some mushroom risotto, creamy risotto, just delicious. I got another one. It was some roasted vegetables. Amazing.
They're all
and
really
I mean,
good.
even the broccoli that they have is charred on it. Like they've already cooked it like that, and so you put it in, you get that char. It is delicious. It's fast. Only 2 minutes to heat up your meal and eat it. They have over 34 weekly restaurant quality options, including bruschetta, shrimp risotto, green goddess chicken, grilled steakhouse filet. Only takes 2 minutes to heat it up, and it's sent straight to your door. So check out our friends over at Factor Meals. Go to factormeals.com/Broncos or DNVR Broncos 50 to get 50% off. That's factormeals.com/DNVR Broncos 50 to get 50% off your order. I'm going to do this.
DNVR
Definitely.
Broncos 50.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. Yep,
I,
I'm
50.
going to do this because I'm in the midst of 75 hard right now.
Oh.
That sounds very hard.
It is
That
hard.
sounds,
Yes.
yeah.
If you guys have done this, like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. But, like, the food thing's really hard. It's like follow a diet, strict,
Yeah.
like, nice, clean eating. And I'm like, I mean, like, instead of just starving myself today, I'm so hungry, but I was afraid to eat before the pot because I was just like, I'm going to have to eat something bad. I'm going to go to Chick-fil-A or
Exactly.
something. And so a Factor meal would have been nice because 2 minutes.
Well,
I
you
need
They are
those
so
2
nice.
minutes.
you just lied to us, though,
Why?
Alexis. You said you're doing 75 hard.
I am.
Aren't you being a
Little soft?
perfectionist? And you're going one step beyond?
Pretty standard.
Aren't you doing a 90-day
yeah,
hard?
I am doing 90.
Yeah.
I am doing 90 days. I'm trying to just like pass a full 3 months. Like 75 is such an awkward number to me.
We
Like,
just
give me
want
90.
we just want our listeners to learn about you, and you're just a
Oh.
perfectionist. You just go above and beyond and make all of us look
Here's
bad.
the bar. I just like raise it a little
Yep,
bit higher
yep,
just to see
yep,
if I
and
can
that's
do
what you're
that
doing.
instead.
Yep.
I got my Factor meals on a Tuesday.
Yeah, me
but
too.
I had to leave for Montana Thursday night. So I was like, wow, I've got like 7 meals and I have 7 meals I need to eat before I leave.
So all you ate was Factor.
It
for,
was
like, 7
crazy.
days.
And it was so convenient. I was like, okay, I'm just going to eat
That's
like
great.
these vegetables for breakfast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, it doesn't feel like breakfast, but it's probably good for you.
Oh, definitely.
imagine.
Sure.
You
Yeah,
kidding?
it has to be.
Yeah.
I feel like I need a booster seat or something.
Oh wow.
I need like
I
something.
think you need
I'm
like
I just feel-
rotator cuff surgery
I do.
now.
They're torn.
Yeah.
Both of my rotator
No
cuffs
way.
are torn.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you haven't fixed them.
Haven't fixed
Oh
them.
my gosh,
Torn
that
when I was
noise.
in 8th grade. Did you just hear that?
Woo,
I know.
yeah,
It's gnarly.
seriously.
They were afraid if
Wow.
they did surgery that maybe like one arm was going to grow longer than
Oh,
the other.
wow.
Yeah. So I avoided it. Anyways,
Oh, my
enough about
gosh.
my injuries.
wanna
Javonte
talk about my
Williams
toe
looked
again?
great. yeah, no, you're a mess.
We also we love Breckenridge Distillery. We have
do.
that. Is that the Broncos whiskey? It's got to be the
It
Broncos
is,
whiskey.
it is.
It's kind of like clear on the back, but not quite. We love them. They also love you, and I guess the world loves them. There's a good one. They were founded in 2008, and they're the world's highest distillery. They've won a bunch of awards, like they're the 3-time icons of whiskey. They're the 9-time winner of Best American Blended at the World Whiskeys Awards by Whiskey Magazine. 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 21, 22, and then 3 times in 2023, in case you were wondering. 4-time Colorado Distiller of the Year. They've won all sorts of awards. They obviously work with the Broncos, and they just have great whiskeys. They ship products to all over the country, all 50 states. So you can go to your local retailer and see if they have Breckenridge whiskeys, or you can also just check out the website and have them shipping to you. They also don't have just whiskey. I just kind of focus on the whiskey. Got some gin.
Yep.
Won some gin awards.
Yep.
All sorts of good stuff.
Yep. We love Breckenridge. Really anything with the name Breckenridge in it, especially then you throw Broncos in it as well. That's a great collab. On the Broncos podcast, we love that.
It's
Have
true.
you guys ever been to the distillery up in Breck?
No, not
I
in
have
Breck.
not. I've seen it.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Huh.
I've only heard great
Amazing.
things.
Yeah, I love it. went and like bought a few different bottles just because I like how they look on my
Yeah.
little entry table. I
Yeah.
don't know. They're pretty.
They make you
Nice
look
little
smart.
collection. I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Whiskey? Or you said they make you look smart?
Yeah.
I think so.
Why does alcohol make you look like you're right? But why is that?
I don't know.
Why is that the case?
Like-
Especially whiskey. I don't know. Like, makes me look like a distinguished.
Yes,
Gentleman.
yes, exactly. It makes you look very sophisticated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say I went through this little kick where I only had old fashions for like
Wow.
4 years, and then I realized that I don't even think I liked them that much. I just wanted to look
Yeah.
mature.
I can tell you, I've never gone through an old fashioned kick.
no.
No, definitely
Interesting.
not. No.
No.
Maybe with Breckenridge Distillery,
I
I
will
will.
say it
It's worth a
depends
try.
on the whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since
for
that's
sure.
like what 95% of the drink is.
Yeah, 99%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 99.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just whiskey on the rocks.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Okay, let's dive into the final team period of practice. I've got 3 passing plays in here to wrap up Russell Wilson's day. Hank, is that what you have as well? And to be fair, at this time in practice, Alexis, the team is making us walk across the field. They're kind of putting us behind a lot of obstacles. I don't know if it's to make it difficult for us to see, but it is difficult for us to see what's
Yeah.
going on. So if there were some disagreements on what happened here, that would make sense.
Yeah, that would make all the sense in the world. I saw Russell Wilson deep to Jerry Jeudy, Pat Surtain, it was in his hands. It should have been an interception. This is what I saw from my point of view, literally dodging
Yeah.
like
Yep.
poles and people the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's Jerry? Okay, I think it's Jerry, and then it's Pat. And Pat, I mean, that was a classic Pat Surtain reaction of like, oh my God, I should have
Yeah.
had that. So
Yeah.
I thought it was an interception, near
Yep.
interception.
And it's tough with those because, like, you don't know if there's pressure.
Yeah,
Because, like,
couldn't see.
or if nobody else is open. And even if nobody's open, your best option isn't just to lob it up toward Pat Surtain. You should probably, like, throw it up to Cortland on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
So you don't know the whole
Throw it
situation.
out of
But
bounds.
that seemed like a mistake. Yeah. Out of bounds is better than a jump ball with Pat Surtain.
Yeah.
The angle that I had, it was like I don't think any of us saw that it was Jerry Jeudy because Pat Surtain was just that smothering
All over him.
on him, and then we found out from some people later, unless you maybe saw it was Jerry.
Well, I saw a 0.
Oh,
and I was
okay.
like, okay.
Yep. There's no other. It wasn't Jonathan Cooper
Wasn't
out there.
Jonathan
I
Cooper
can
out
guarantee
there.
you that.
Yeah.
And it's just that good of coverage, and that's why Henry, to your point earlier, the fact that Russ found court on Pat Surtain
Yeah.
is so impressive for that play. But yeah, don't throw that ball. Or if you're gonna throw it, just throw it away and make sure it's 10 yards out of bounds. But you threw it in that direction, so it's not intentional grounding. I think Alexis as well. I think Pat had both hands on it.
Yeah.
And it was a jumping one, and then he came down on the ground, and so it would have been really
kinda like
tough to hold on to it. But still, if he catches that, if Pat Surtain catches that, we're talking about how Russ is having Danger Witch Day. Is that what it is?
Today we're on Danger Witch.
So it would have been Danger Russ.
Oh no, we're on Danger, Russ today.
So this would have been Danger Witch.
Yes.
What's the
to
best
the
one?
left. Russell Wilson.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right,
Yeah,
that's
Russell
right.
Wilson,
Just
Mr.
Russell Wilson.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
Danger Russ. Danger
Danger
Witch,
Witch.
and let's
Let's
ride.
ride.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. So he would have been a 2 out of 5 if Pat just holds on to that. Now he didn't, so that's why we're giving him the 3. But a risky throw, and then the way that we were at a really bad angle for the rest of practice. The other 2 passes that I saw was a batted pass at the line. That's just gonna happen. First batted
Especially
pass,
when
I
you're
think.
not tall.
What?
Especially when you're not tall.
It's true. And then the final pass that I saw from Russell Wilson was a 7-yard completion to Cortland Sutton in the middle of the field. So for me, that's why it's like, man, Russ, I guess he was good in 7-on-7, just depending on how you view that one deep throw. He could have had an interception, but just like fine, but it was better than yesterday.
I was going to say, I think at the end of the day, 1% better each and every day is kind of what we're looking for here. So the fact that there was an improvement, he didn't take a step back from yesterday, but I wonder how much did him throwing the ball today and not using his legs impact your personal grade of him today?
That's a good point, and I wonder if there was an emphasis to stay in the pocket.
Yeah.
After what we heard from Sean Payton and Russell Wilson yesterday, I wouldn't think that there was.
I thought they were going to start really focusing in on, okay, Russ,
Yeah.
let's see which plays we can design, draw up just for you in order to use your legs. And then today, they went completely against that, which could be strategic as well.
Yeah, it definitely could be because they want Russ to run more. Doesn't mean that they're going to tell him every play take off.
Yeah.
So they could say, okay, there's going to be some days where we actually do want you to stay in the pocket. So I'm curious about that. I'm curious on Monday when the pads are on, how these next few days play out. Are we going to see yesterday where Russ is running like 4 or 5 times? Or are we going to see more of today where it's like, no, he's a pocket passer. I hope he's not a pocket passer.
He can't be.
No.
Not
we
in
learned
this
it.
league.
We learned it last year.
Yeah. I mean, I think on the times where, like, were we dead last? I keep saying we because I used to work for them. I need to stop doing that. I'm not on the team.
No.
I don't work for them. Like,
Do you just want to drop an F-bomb right now to
No.
like feel like you're not on the team?
No, seriously. Like, I said that earlier today. I was like, I'm not going to say we're like our defense
Yeah.
looks great or our whatever. I'm
You
like,
can say that, Alexis. It's
I
okay.
didn't even say it
It's okay.
then, so I
It's
don't know
okay.
where it's coming from now. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I forgot what I was saying, but
You're talking about our Denver Broncos.
our Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson, needing to use his legs. He absolutely has to. I think the Broncos were obviously dead last in the league in terms of time from, snap to actually getting the ball out. And that just can't happen again. And that's something that I think Sean Payton has had an emphasis on. And at one point today, I think I could kind of overhear just a little bit of like throw the ball. Like, you got to throw the ball. And I don't know who that was. It could have been fans. But I just kept hearing people kind of around me saying, hey, he has to throw the ball.
Were you hearing voices
I mean,
today? Just
or
in your
maybe
head?
I was just
heat
hearing
stroke?
voices.
I mean, you were out in the heat.
I know. I didn't even try to shade today, really. I was
No.
just like,
No.
I just like locked my feet in and was just like, let's go. I hulked out the heat a little bit today.
So you were let's go, not let's ride?
I was, oh yeah, I don't say
Okay,
let's
okay,
ride.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's ride.
Yeah.
I do kind of miss it though. Don't you guys like,
It would have been fun.
It would have been so much fun.
let's ride? Like, if that would have been a really great year.
Yep.
Like,
It would have been so
It
fun.
would have been so
let's ride
fun.
was nice. Should we try to, no.
No,
Too
no,
soon.
yeah,
Too
it's
soon.
very,
Yeah.
it's very,
Too
nah,
soon.
yeah,
It would have been
nah.
fun. Okay.
In fact, yesterday, Russell Wilson getting off the podium. Did you catch what he said?
Go Broncos.
That's it. Simple as that.
You think I wasn't listening to that? Of course I was. Of course I was.
And you know how I know that people hate Let's Ride and never want to see it again? I tweeted that. That's what Russell Wilson said at getting off the podium. Just go Broncos. That was my biggest tweet yesterday. People love that Let's Ride's died.
It's crazy. How
Yeah.
did we never make a shirt for that? Like, it died so quickly.
We did.
Oh, did we?
Let's Ride? Yeah.
I saw one yesterday.
That's how.
Oh, did you?
It lived long enough. Now I
Yeah,
think of it.
it was at Broncos practice.
Yeah.
Yep. Near the top of the berm.
Wow.
It was Let's Ride, and the E was turned backwards to be a 3.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right.
That's good.
Probably
That's
stop selling
thoughtful.
those. Oh,
They might
we
be
still
on
have
our
the
summer sale right
yeah,
now.
summer
Yes,
sale.
You wanna? If you think Let's Ride's coming back, might as well get the shirt.
Wow.
Probably up to 50% off right now.
Joking?
So check our DNVR summer sale right now. As Hank's checking it out right now.
I bet you could just search "Let's Ride." And
Probably
there
could.
it is.
Oh,
There it is. What are we looking at?
it's
type of discount?
$26.
$26. All right.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
it's a cool Broncos shirt. It's cool.
It is.
Orange
I
and
actually
blue.
like
Got
it.
the white
It's
in
a
there.
good blue too.
You're supporting right.
It
It's
is.
really nice.
looks very
blue.
sharp.
Nice
Yeah.
cobalt.
If you're gonna go out to Broncos training camp, you don't want to be wearing black. Anything
No,
but
you
black.
don't.
So make sure to get yourself a Let's Ride shirt. Anything on our summer sale. Okay, so that's Russell Wilson's day. I think we got it for the most part, right?
Yep.
Hank thinks he's going to the Hall of Fame off today. I'm looking for a little more.
Today was the first time. Well, we've seen like 6 7-on-7 sessions, 2 from each of the 3 quarterbacks. This is the only time any one of them was just dicing the defense up. And I know that's like a low bar,
Yeah.
because you should be able to do that in 7-on-7, but it was really nice to see. If he knew where I was going with the ball, he just slung it right in there.
Except for the deep pass, he kind of let it sail. But he still got it
Could
there.
have thrown a few more
eventually.
feet on that one.
Just
We're
a-
talking football. Feet's important. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, but Alexis,
Yards.
outside of Russ, what's your biggest takeaway from today on the field?
on the field.
On the field.
beside
That's a big
Russ.
key.
I mean, for me, and like I said, I don't know what practice Hank was watching. For me, it was the pass rush. Also, per usual, I might say this every day I'm on the pod. A shout out to the Broncos secondary.
Yeah.
They're just highly impressive. They are disruptive. They are in on every play. Who had the pass breakup? early in 7-on-7s. Was
Oh.
A backup?
it was. It
had to have been.
No.
Fan Hicks. It was number
He had
29.
the pick,
Van
yeah.
Hicks
Interception.
He had the pick.
Actually.
And then hold on. Guys, I'm getting used to the
I know. It's not easy.
Okay, I know it was Hicks for sure.
Yep.
And then there was another
That pick
one.
was off Jarrett Stidham, kind of
Oh.
middle of the field. He jumped it.
Well, I had Justin Sternad. Never mind.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
Justin
yeah,
Sternad. That
was a great
Sternad.
play.
He had a
Great
great play
play.
as well.
Diving pass
Yep.
breakup.
Yeah.
On Dulcich.
Yep.
Yeah, but in terms of Christian Parker's secondary, I'm just highly impressed by those guys. They come in, they're prepared, and it seems like the depth there. I mean, that's just something that we just don't have to be concerned about in any capacity. So just a shout out to that group. I know those guys work hard. This whole team works hard, but they just look elite.
Yep. And
I don't think there's just going to be any, what am I trying to say? Like, there's not going to be a step back under Vance Joseph, I don't believe.
No. Because, like, what Vance wants to do is so simple.
Simple.
Like, you're just going to line the players up and let them play football.
Yeah.
You're going to pick your matchups and you'll send some blitzes and stuff. But I was even talking to PJ Locke after practice today. He was like, yeah, that Fangio defense, man, like, it's cover 4, but every cover 4 is different. It's like, when do you match? When do you not match? And it just changes play to play to play.
Yeah.
It's not that it's easy now, but it is going to be a lot more simplified. I mean, it's the Wade Phillips defense.
Yeah.
And we all remember that. That was Aqib Talib goes on their best outside receiver. Chris Harris goes on their slot receiver. Let those guys go win. And the Broncos have the secondary to play that way and blitz a lot and be successful.
Yeah, and that's just why I think the pass rush is the key to this defense. Whether they're bottom 10 unit, if they can't get any pressure, it's really going to hurt the secondary. If the pass rush is average, the secondary is going to be elite,
Yeah.
and then you're going to be able to focus on the run a lot. And that's why, again, just really impressed. Second day in a row where the pass rush looks really good.
Yep.
This time, inside out. And Nick Bonito, I know we mentioned his play he had, but I just have to bring his name up again because mentioning him today is more than we mentioned him in all of training camp last year, pretty much. So really happy to see a burst from him. What is he? He's a speed rusher. What did he do today? He's sped rushed?
Sped rushed.
He's sped rushed.
Speedy
He's
rush.
sped rushed.
He's speedy rushed. How would you say that?
Speed rushed.
It was
He's
speed
speed
rush.
I like
Rushed.
sped rushed.
He's
Speed-
sped
he's
rushed.
Speed rush.
He
Yeah.
bonitoed by Garrett Bowles, just right around him. And I'm very encouraged by that. So like to see more Nick Bonito because with who's the Broncos' third outside linebacker right now with Baron Browning out?
Jonathan Cooper?
Probably Jonathan Cooper.
100%.
And if Nick Bonito overtakes him, it means that Nick Bonito is good because Jonathan Cooper is good. Jonathan Cooper's not great yet, but it would mean that Nick Bonito would be at least good, which is huge. You need to see that step from him in year 2.
I'm going with the linebackers. You brought up that play from Sternad, but
Yeah.
specifically the linebacker depth.
Yeah.
Like all those guys, Jonas Griffith, like he had a play where he would have just lit up a receiver in the middle of the field if that was allowed. Drew Sanders was out there making plays. Also, Jonas Griffith had a great day yesterday too. So this is back-to-back days for him. But
I feel like Jonas is kind of like a quiet playmaker.
Yeah.
He's a guy that you notice because he's always doing the right thing, but he's not like, I don't know, like you almost like expect it from him in some way, so it's like not as impressive, but he's highly impressive when you actually lock in on him and watch him.
yeah, and last year we were all excited because he was going to be the starting linebacker.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he got hurt and Alex took that job and now
we
he's
know-
kind of
and
an
then we know what
afterthought in a way.
happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, then we know what happened.
But the fact that you have him on the bench, Sternad made that play. Drew Sanders made a couple of plays today. He basically we talked about that out route that Jeudy ran, like the 15-yarder and 7-on-7s.
Yep.
They ran that same play again with the, I guess I can't say which unit, you can imagine, with Dulcich running that out route. And Drew Sanders was right there in coverage, just ran it for him, was standing right in front of him. I don't know why Stidham threw the ball that way, because it was the same thing where he had the same guy open in the flat, but decided to throw it deep too, and a terrible decision. Sanders just knocks it away so easy. He had a blitz right up the middle with Tony Jones Jr. trying to block him. Just bang, just knocked him 3 steps backward. And
Yep.
I'm not sure if he would have gotten the sack, but there were a couple plays where he stood out today.
Yeah, and Drew Sanders, I mean, one of the most encouraging things, I think the most encouraging thing, we know he can blitz, especially from the inside, but the coverage. How is he going to be? So it's really encouraging to see that part of his game, especially early in training camp. One thing, I mentioned Mike McGlinchey earlier. He had a death in the family. We officially learned from Sean Payton. So he's missed every training camp practice, I believe, up until this point. And so we're thinking about Mike McGlinchey, and he will be back, I believe, tomorrow, even though the Broncos aren't practicing. I think he's going to be in the building, and then he will definitely be back for when pads come on Monday. And then the Broncos are going to have both their starting offensive tackles, which hopefully is huge for Garrett Bowles and the rest, or for Russell Wilson and the rest of that offensive line. But we are thinking of Mike McGlinchey. And then my last note, punt returners. By the way, I haven't seen Pat Surtain out there yet. I think that's notable for some. But, Henry, that's a really good point. It's time. Yesterday, what did we see? What was the most notable return we saw?
Oh, probably one of Montreal's mistakes. The big one was when he just misjudged the punt. It's just like coming through the air, and he has to like run to the right sideline, and he's like slow, and then kind of stops right and starts right again. The ball like bounces off his shins, and it was rough. He didn't track that one well.
Yeah, that was bad. And then today, Kendall Hinton had a muffed punt as well. And then Sean Payton was asked about punt returners and how you evaluate them and that stuff. And Sean just went straight to both of those guys' hearts pretty much and said, the most important thing is ball security. You got to catch the ball first. What you don't want as a coach is someone back there and the ball's in the air and you're just thinking, please catch this, please catch this, please catch this. And so both those guys, not that one muff is going to kill your chances, but you don't get that many opportunities. I mean, it's not like they're going to get 200 punts each in training camp.
Yeah.
So you definitely keep notes of when they completely muff it or completely misread it where it turns into a fumble like that Montreal one would have yesterday.
Yeah, and that's just how you earn a roster spot, right? Special teams is where these guys cut their teeth. And to be messing up, I mean, it is early in camp, right? Like, keep that in mind. But to be making these mistakes this early, it's like first impression in a way. And it's not great.
Especially when this is probably both of those guys, it's their best way to make the team.
100%.
It's not like it's Pat Surtain out there learning on the job, but it doesn't matter because he's going to be the cornerback anyways. This is probably how they get their job on the team.
I don't ever want to see Pat Surtain back there. Is are kidding, right? Like, please tell me you're joking.
You're taking the smart approach. Like, you're using your brain. It would just be so fun to see him return a punt.
To see. Yeah.
Like, if he runs back there, I'm going to be thrilled. I'm going to be standing up in my seat watching him run back there.
He just, like, I mean, I guess he doesn't, like, absolutely need his fingers. It'd be nice so he could, like, intercept the ball. But, like, if he, like, broke his finger fielding a punt, I would just...
Why are you saying this, Alexis?
Lose my mind.
Why are you putting this out in the world?
I'm not. I know.
Wow.
Seriously.
Wow.
Negative Nancy.
Wow. We'll touch wood for that one.
We'll touch wood. I just, like, he's not going to field punts under Sean Payton. There's no way.
It's just a bad idea.
There's no way Sean will do that.
What you're saying is someone would have to be high off kind love to put Pat Surtain back there. Is that right?
The highest.
The highest. And
the highest they'd ever been off
it
kind
is a
love.
Saturday, and so maybe some people tuning in with us are enjoying a little kind love, whether that's just with their friends, surround themselves with love with their friends, or surround themselves with a great product over at Kind Love. 25% off makes it even better. What's even better than love? If you like someone, the next step is love. What's the next step after love?
Like, creepy obsessed.
Creepy obsessed. I guess if you want to be creepy obsessed with Kind Love, 25% off takes you over that hump.
Maybe.
And so you can scan that QR code on the screen, or you can check them out at kindlove.com, or go to a store in Cherry Creek or North Denver. We might be like right in between those two locations here.
Yeah.
Cherry Creek and North Denver.
We
We might
can
be
go either way.
smack
Or
dab
both.
in the middle. So check out Kind Love. Get 25% off all Kind Love flour pre-rolls, and, of course, their special turbo joint line, which is just going to pack a big punch. And it's Saturday, so if you want that big punch, check out check out kindlove.com. What did I say? Oh, no.
Breckenridge Brewery is awesome. Actually, so I'm coming back to the bar later for the UFC fights.
Ooh.
I myself, not a huge UFC guy, but I am a big betting guy, so that's good
What
enough.
are you a huge blank guy of?
Montana guy.
Huge
I do,
Montana guy.
yeah. Montana football. Broncos are weird now because it's like a job, but Nuggets,
Really quick, got to give a shout out.
mostly sports.
Got to give a shout out to, are you Montanans?
Montanans, yes.
Montanans that came into the bar yesterday.
Oh.
They were looking to meet up with a fellow Montanan but he was at home writing. So Ryan and I met him. It was awesome to meet you guys. They were watching us from down below at the bar, and then watching us on YouTube to hear what we were saying, to get caught up on practice.
Next time we'll just bring them upstairs.
Yeah, exactly. Henry, they missed you. They send their love.
Yeah,
well, maybe they'll come back
instead.
But also,
sucks.
No,
you know?
you don't suck.
Like, it's so bad. Like, I walked down there afterwards and it kind of reminds me of that scene in Big Daddy where it's like, we wasted the good surprise on you. You know, like I was like, they were surprised to see me. Unfortunately,
it's a good surprise.
No, it wasn't. Not for those two guys. No.
Oh.
They got their picture with Zach and Ryan. They were like, we don't even know this.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, they know you now. Everyone knows you now. Alexis, everyone just loves you.
I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah.
With this Chiefs fan.
It's
People say
true.
that I don't like the Chiefs. I fear the Chiefs.
I fear them.
It's
I have
different.
respect.
Man,
Exactly.
Henry, did you tell us about our other partner really quick?
Yeah, let me do that.
Yeah, do that, please.
Yeah, so I'm
Because
coming back to the bar
speaking
later.
of Chiefs fans,
It's gonna be a big Breckenridge beer night because, I feel like that just fits UFC.
It does.
So you just you watch a guy run out and it's like, who looks like they're gonna win? Bet some money on that guy. Drink some beers. It's gonna be a good time. Justin Gaethje from Colorado. I think I have the same barber as him. Might have changed barber. Actually,
Did
we
he
don't.
get a
Ask
hairless
your
cat?
barber.
He did not get a
He
hairless
did not
cat.
get a hairless cat. That's
If anybody
sad.
needs a hairless cat, let me know. A Sphinx. But yeah, Breckenridge Brewery is awesome. Today is not the last day, my last day here with the.
Oh no, you're leaving us?
No, with the Palisade Peach being the
was
beer of the
fired.
month.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because
So
there's
on
only
Monday,
2 more days. of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to figure out what exactly the beer of the month is. So
What should it be?
what is it? I would always go Strawberry Sky.
Yeah,
that's a good beer.
We haven't had Strawberry Sky yet this summer, have we?
No, I think we're due.
Yep.
And
I
it's
think we
almost
are.
August, boys.
Yeah.
It is.
crazy.
It is crazy. It's almost football season. But definitely go pick up some Breckenridge beers. You can go to breckbrew.com, put in your zip code. It'll tell you everywhere you can go to get whatever beer you want to try. They've got so many great beers. You can also head on out to the farmhouse in Littleton if you're looking for something to do.
And as Jose points out, Alexis just won the pod by calling out the Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if Alexis was calling out Henry or calling out Frank Clark.
They're one in the same right
They're
now.
one in the
They're like,
same
they wear Broncos
right
gear,
now.
but they're Chiefs on the inside. You know?
Yes.
That's what people say about me and Frank Clark.
Yeah.
You
One
and
and the same.
Frank. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, your smile's the same.
Yeah.
The same.
I mean, just
If I guess, he only has the sparkles on the outside teeth. The grills, sorry. I'm a man.
sparkles.
Not saying that to
We
his
need
face.
Frank Clark's reaction to
To
Henry
that.
calling them the sparkles. He also
Yeah,
has them
that's
on
a
the
bad
bottom,
idea.
the middle bottom though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like a pattern.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it really
it's,
is.
It's methodical. It's very Sean Payton-esque. It's intentional.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
intentional.
So were his comments today intentional?
I don't know what those were. I genuinely, for what it's worth, overarching theme on Frank Clark, I really like his aura. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he has a big personality and a big presence. And I'm like, yes, I love guys like this, especially vets that come in and are in a new locker room. It's nice to know that you can tell that he's not the shy guy.
No.
Right?
Oh
But
no.
then he said this.
So and really quick, we got so many people watching on YouTube right now. Hit us with a thumbs up, but what I want more than a thumbs up right now is I want everyone watching live on YouTube, right after you hear this clip of Frank Clark, to go into this live comment section and tell us if you like it or hate it, because I don't know what Broncos fans' reaction is. I'm trying to figure it out online. So let us know if you like what Frank Clark said or if you don't like what he said. Not if you agree with it, but if you like it or you don't like that. A current Denver Broncos said this. So here's Frank Clark today. He was asked specifically about the 15-game losing streak that the Broncos are on to the Chiefs right now. And remember, Frank Clark spent his past 4 seasons with the Kansas City Chiefs, won 2 Super Bowls with them, won 4 AFC West championships with them, and was 8-0 against the Denver Broncos. So he was asked about that specifically today, and here's what he had to say.
The Chiefs, but the team the Chiefs have beaten 15 times in a row. Is it time now to reverse that trend? Or what?
I wouldn't call it a rivalry, and a rivalry is competitive, true or false. And I'm on the Broncos now, and I've been on the other side, you know what I mean? And we didn't call it a rivalry then. I'm with the Broncos now. Until we become competitive enough, we have to beat the team. We have to win our division. We have to do a few things, not just about the Chiefs. It's things we have to do here. We got to get our own ball together here. in order for us to go out there and compete, for us to become one of those factions.
If it wasn't a rivalry, what was it? Well, the Chiefs,
I wouldn't call it a rival.
15 times in a row. Is the time now
Can they hear us? I wouldn't call it a rivalry.
I wouldn't call it a
A
rivalry. and
rivalry's
is
got
competitive.
to be
True or false?
competitive.
And
Yeah.
I'm on the Broncos now, and I've been on the
It reminds me a lot of Sean Payton and what he said with USA Today. Where it's like, yeah, no, he's right on the money with all this. This is probably what he should think. But do you need to say it? I'm not so sure. I think I like that he said it though. Like it kind of it fires people up. Like there's part of it where it kind of does sound like he's still just a chief. Like it sounds like what a chief would say.
To me, it was like he briefly forgot where he was at. You know, like he just like really forgot like where he was at. What team just paid him big money to be here? But at the same time, I think what he said, at the end of the day, as much as we as Broncos fans really, we want that to be a rivalry again. We know that there is a history of a rivalry there, but it's kind of like, if you're not winning, if you've lost 15 straight, like, yes, that's not a rivalry, that's an ass kicking
Yep.
to lose 15 straight games. So for me, it's like, I agree with what he's saying. It's odd to hear it coming from, like, if you said that, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. You know, but like, you don't play for the Broncos. So it was just odd to see somebody, I know, tricked me.
Yeah.
Literally.
Thank you.
Tricked me.
At least I look like it.
I thought you were going to suit up on Sundays, but I just, I guess I'm just surprised by the timing of it as well. Like, and then again, it is the first time we've heard from Frank Clark, but I don't know.
I've never heard, and for
As per
2
layer.
out of 3 days, I've never heard someone in an organization talk this way. I hadn't heard Sean Payton talk that way that he did 2 days ago, and I haven't heard Frank Clark, a current player, talk this exact same way. You know, Frank is clearly a chatty guy. He's got a lot of stuff on his mind, and Frank Clark could have easily come out and said, you know, I'm happy to be on the Broncos and happy to break that losing streak.
Yeah.
Boom. Good answer. We would have moved on. No. Frank Clark instead.
He did take it another level.
Not only take it another level and say this, he was asked about, you know, moving on from the Chiefs and having success there, and he said, all good things come to an end. And I had a lot of Broncos fans saying, why is he bringing this up that was a good thing that he had? Like, yeah, we all know it is, but like, he's still, I mean, he had so much success with the Chiefs, and he still hasn't, I don't think he hates the Chiefs yet. And I think people that don't like this quote, I think that's kind of how they read it, is like, man, you need to be a Bronco now. You need to be saying F those guys. You need to be taking it that way, not be like looking inward. But I think Sean Payton likes this. I think Sean Payton likes this because Sean Payton is a brutally honest guy, and I think he wanted guys to come in here and change up the culture. And this is different than anything we've heard that the Broncos. He's a winner. Have we heard any other player come out and say anything like this in the Broncos organization? No. Now, they haven't been in that situation, but like, we haven't heard that. And so Frank's coming in and making things uncomfortable a little bit. And so I think it's something that Sean Payton probably likes.
Looks like everyone in the live chat really liked the comments as well.
Okay, and I thought it was important, but here's Ryan's reaction to the quote. He hated it. And I hope he's okay with me sharing it. I asked him. He hasn't.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I asked him if I could say it. He has not responded yet, so I'm taking that as a yes. He said, my reaction to the quote was that we should send him back to Kansas City.
Oh.
And so I think there are some people that do take that approach with this. It's like, man, really, you're a Bronco now. Embrace the Broncos. Don't be like kicking yourself in the nuts, kicking us in the nuts when we're here. Be doing that to someone else, you know? But I kind of agree with you guys. I think it's refreshing.
I don't mind the player having that perspective. It's like you're going to a game against the Chiefs. And you could either say like, "Wow, these are historical rivals," and so I want to. But I don't even know how much they know that. Like rivalries barely even exist anymore. Like they weren't paying attention to a Broncos Chiefs rivalry that wasn't all that exciting since like maybe like when the Priest Holmes, Jake Plummer era, and even then like it's not like it's one of the great rivalries in the league.
Broncos Chiefs?
Yeah.
I think it's a really good rivalry.
Do you?
I do. Historically. I think Frank Clark's right. Past 15 games, it hasn't been. In fact, so that's been, what, 7 years? The past 11 years, this hasn't been a rivalry because the Broncos dominated the Chiefs. The Broncos were on like a 7-game
We've
win
been on the
streak
other
against the
side of
Chiefs.
this.
And then immediately flipped
Yeah.
to 15 straight against the Broncos. So does that mean the next time the Broncos win, it's going to be like 20 straight wins for the Broncos?
I hope so.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Man, wouldn't that be
Against
nice?
Patrick Mahomes, just
That would be
dominating
nice.
him
All I
that
have
much.
to say is that when it comes to this theme for Frank Clark, he has until, I just checked the schedule, it's October 12th. He has until October 12th to get it right.
Okay, I like
so, like,
that.
he's good for now because he's
Okay.
so new and it's a new team, everything like that, new to this fan base. But by October 12th, he needs to be 100% bleeding orange and blue.
I like that. I like
He can
that.
have a little red in there still, just a little bit, because it's like
No, he can't,
doesn't-
Alexis. No,
well,
stop
he
it.
doesn't.
Stop
Here's
it.
the thing: he doesn't hate those guys yet. Like you said, he
Mm-hmm.
mentioned this like first thing out of his mouth today was like, it's not about the organization, the team, whatever. It's about the guys. Like you fall in love with the guys.
Which I thought was kind of an interesting phrasing that he used.
Was
Yeah, you fall in
very
You fall in love with the
weird.
players, I
You
think.
fall in love with the players.
like, yeah.
And you felt like it, like the connection, the
it's all
bond.
about.
The bond is with the guys in the locker room, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I mean, I think things are unique for him, or not overly unique. Like he loves that locker room. He loves those guys.
And you
so
know what?
I don't expect him to hate him yet.
They
but he
love-
should hate them on October 12th.
They love him too because I tweeted out a picture of Frank Clark wearing number 55 yesterday, and Chris Jones, who's sitting on his couch, not at Chiefs training camp,
Yeah.
holding out, quote tweeted it with like some love from Frank Clark
Yep.
as he's wearing a Broncos jersey. So that does show. So you're right, Alexis. I mean, there is a human component
Yeah.
to this where he has
Yeah.
a relationship, a 4-year relationship with some of these guys. He probably calls a lot of those guys his brothers. But when October 12th comes and when that week comes, he's got to not be talking to him or talking smack to him
Yeah.
and publicly come out and say F him.
Well,
And
maybe
it doesn't have to be that
maybe you could
strong.
follow up, because I'm sure that they're going to make him available to the media that week. They have to.
Yep.
Absolutely have to.
Or they don't after this.
Or they don't. Or they're like,
Yeah, I'm
not
kind of
sure.
pulling for those guys.
I have a feeling.
Well, they haven't lost a game yet, so
I hope they go back to back.
I have a hunch Broncos PR staff will make him available, and I think we should follow up on this.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. The accountability, Alexis. I
just,
love it.
Just thinking, level up. You know what I mean?
Level
set
up.
that bar a
level
little higher.
up. Yep, I
Gotta
totally
set an
agree.
alarm on your phone with that date.
Yep.
It's like, okay, do you remember back on what's today? July 29th, when you said
Yep.
that it wasn't even a rivalry.
I hope he doesn't have a Chiefs tattoo like Shane Ray.
The thing is, he is a chief, though. Is
a
like
chief.
when he retires,
when you
like
win two
he's a chief.
Super
Exactly.
Bowls with a team,
He's a
like,
chief for life.
Did he?
He's a Bronco for
It's
now.
like Mike Malone. Like if he ever gets a coaching job somewhere else, like he's still
He's a Nugget.
a Nugget for life, and he has Maxi Minor on his arm to prove it. you
Cody
know?
brings up a good point with
Does
Von
he?
Miller. Vaughn always talks about the Broncos.
That's
it's like
facts.
he does it the same way, and it's a little
he
bit
says it
different
like
because he's
we,
not in
though,
the
too.
division. Exactly.
He's a wee guy.
But also, we've talked about this on this pod. When we hear Vaughn talk that way, we think that's amazing, but weird as shit
is
for
weird.
the Bills fans.
It is weird.
If I'm a Bills fan, so weird. Like, it's flattering for Broncos fans, but you're just like, I'm uncomfortable for the Bills fans. I'm uncomfortable for the Rams fans. Like, this is weird.
It is weird.
Well, I think at the end of the day, you figure out where a guy's heart truly lies, and it's always going to be with the people that he connected with. Frank Clark's only been here a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could have this well, shoot, he's on a 1-year deal, but we'll have this conversation at the end of the year and see how much he loves his teammates. But I feel like he just probably he's falling in love.
Uh-huh.
He's in the process, like they're courting right now. You know
Yep.
what I mean? He's like courting with his teammates right now. It's still so early, but maybe even after training camp, like these guys are spending all this time together in the team hotel, and they're just there's a lot of bonding happening. So maybe by October 12th, that bond will be unbreakable.
Hope so.
What am I talking about?
I love that. Like he did say though, like yeah, that's why I play
falling in
football to
love.
fall in love with the players. It's like, oh, it's not like a dating
I
show.
get it. I get it. I
And
know
then,
what he's
and then
doing.
ultimately, he said the Broncos really showed me they wanted me.
Yeah,
How did they show that?
cash.
7.5 mil, baby. 5.5 guaranteed.
Also,
2 with incentives.
Ryan saying like they should ship him back to the Chiefs.
By the way, I got a text
There's
from
a-
Ryan that said, "Don't say that on the pod." So
Too late.
I said, "Too late." But honestly, he really didn't like this, and all three of us were okay with it, and most of the comment section okay with it. So, like, we needed kind of the other perspective to that, and Ryan was that other perspective. And now he said it does need some framing to that, and the framing is just, I think, what we've said. I think we have framed it pretty well of why someone wouldn't like what Frank said.
And there is a chance, though, that they will send him back to the Chiefs because that's a super tradable contract, and if things don't go well the first half of the season, they probably don't want to send him to the Chiefs in particular, but he would probably be the top of the list of the players that you would put up for sale at the trade deadline if you get to that point.
They would have to really overpay.
They would.
To send him to the Chiefs.
But they know he's a fit. They know he's been in the locker room. Like,
he clearly didn't go out with bad blood.
With Sean Payton secrets.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's one more win at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be something. But you're right, very tradable contract.
Yeah.
For someone you want in the postseason. And hopefully it's the Broncos wanting him in the postseason this year, because we know he's the third leading postseason sacker of all time.
And if you become that in Kansas City, of course you're a Chief forever. Like, that's just how it goes. You're just going to be loved there forever, and it just makes it awkward here.
When did you become a Chief forever, Henry? I'm curious what the moment was.
I'm not. That's actually a good question, because again, I'm not a Chief fan. I live in fear of the Chiefs. Yes.
Which is so sad.
It is. But that was probably a couple years ago. Maybe after that first Super Bowl. I think the Super Bowl is what really set in stone, like, oh, these aren't even like chokers who are like good in the regular season. There's a really freaking good football team.
When they choked?
When they didn't choke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a difference between respecting someone and fearing them. And clearly you've crossed that line.
Oh, I'm terrified. They're incredible.
Just saying.
I'm going to make big bets on the Chiefs to win both games. That's just actually no. There's no juice on it.
Speaking
now
of
that
the
I think
line, you just way crossed it.
It's just the truth. If it's minus 200, minus 300, maybe
can
not.
I fire him on the spot?
Yes, I guarantee the comment section is gonna fire him on the spot right now.
Fire him on the spot?
Henry, that's probably the worst thing you've ever said.
It's the truth. Like, how could you not think that the Chiefs are going to win both those games? They've won 15 in a row.
Wow.
No hope heading into the year.
I mean, like,
the dislikes are gonna start rolling in.
I'm not picking
sorry.
the Broncos to beat the Chiefs until they actually do it.
That's
Like,
different.
I'm willing to be too
different
late on
than
that.
what you
You
just
just
said,
said.
though.
And you
Well,
also just said both games you're taking the Chiefs,
Oh
which
my
is
gosh.
meaning that even if they win the first one on October
Boo
12th,
this
that's
hopefully they
man
do.
Coming in from the
that
comment
is
section.
that is a trash take, Hank.
I'm
tis, Hank
I'm
coming
as
in from
excited
Cody.
to dance on the grave as anybody, but
Hank is in denial
I
of
don't
being a
know if we're
Chiefs fan.
close.
He's seeking psychological therapy.
Henry
Cody
is
says
lost.
fired. Henry is
Wow.
lost. Wow, the
People
comment
don't
section
like
is
me.
popping. And you know what? If you take something over the line, or someone else
flag.
takes something over the line, Alexis, you want to sue? You
Oh
gotta.
yeah, you got to smash the two.
You gotta smash the two.
gotta
Backus
smash
and
the two.
Shanker or Zackus and Hanker. Smash the two to get in touch with Backus and Shanker. ColoradoLaw.net is going to help you. And the great thing about Backus and Shanker, they're there for you. They've unfortunately been through similar circumstances in you, so they know how to relate to you as well as being extremely great legal advice. You don't have to pay them for a free consultation. You don't have to pay them as they work on your case. You only pay them when you win. They've won over $1 billion for their clients. So give them a call over at Backus and Shanker, 222-2222, or ColoradoLaw.net to get in contact with Backus and Shanker.
And you should also head over to ShadyRays.com, especially right now, because it is hot. It is really hot, and it's really sunny.
I needed some Shady Rays today.
Yes.
That's a plug for Shady Rays. 2 pairs would be nice. Just one would suffice. We're
If you
fine.
do want 2 pairs, though,
I needed them.
That
2 or
is
more
true.
pairs, 50% off
Yeah.
from ShadyRays.com.
Whoa, I had no
there you
idea.
go. Wow. Yeah, no, they're great stuff. I've been a little bit worried about the tan line.
Oh no, you're gonna be fine.
I think I've been doing a good job with the sunscreen. And the other thing, I've been carrying the face sunscreen with me
Oh,
so that I definitely can't get the tan lines. Like, I might burn my arms, might burn my legs, not getting the dumb sunglasses line. Not gonna
I
happen.
think it's like kind of cool, like just wearing goggles all year round.
Yeah, exactly. It's
great.
true.
Oh. Well, maybe I'll try to get that tan line tomorrow.
And yeah, you should try it. Effort the tan. I have gone full send on the tan this year. I put 50 on every day, and I'm still just getting scorched. So
You know
must be
what?
My weird mix of.
One time on this podcast about a month ago, I said how I
Good
put on sunscreen every single day, and I got killed for it. Oh, you're putting chemicals all over yourself, all in your body. You're going to die from that. And I thought, Well, I'm either going to die from not putting it on or I'm going to die from putting it on. What do I do? I
don't
thought
know.
sunscreen was
I
the
know.
healthy thing, and
If
I get
somebody-
roasted for it.
If somebody has a recommendation for like a really clean sunscreen, I think mine that I use is really clean. But like if there's a cleaner one, maybe that could be my thing. I could go try to like sell the pod to that future
To
partner.
sunscreen
that's a good
brands?
idea.
Yeah. Just be like, hey, we're out there just getting scorched, and we put it on numerous times. While
True.
We're out there.
Wow.
And then we
Hours and
spread it to
hours.
all the other media members,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they're pumping it
I
too.
got it.
Yeah.
Smarter than I look.
One of my high school health teacher said that anything over 15 SPF,
Doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't matter, but also it's just filled with chemicals.
Well,
Anything
shoot.
over it is
Yeah.
filled with extra chemicals.
It's just extra chemicals and it barely helps more. He was also wrong about a whole lot of other things.
So what do
though.
you use?
Yeah, I trust this guy wholeheartedly.
So what do you use then, Henry?
I'm gonna go with the 30
So why don't you listen to your high school teacher?
because you should see some of the things that were in that health textbook. They were not correct.
Was it his textbook?
No, he.
I had one of those in college.
Oh, for my French
are weird.
for my French class, I was we were assigned textbook. I get it, I open it, and I see the author of it is my teacher, and I'm like, no wonder you assigned this book because you just made $100 off of every student taking this class right now.
Wait, are
It's
you,
dumb.
Like, you're French. You were learning how to speak French. This wasn't
Yeah.
like French history or something.
Oh no.
Okay,
French
that's
class.
hilarious because like French is French. You know what I mean?
Right, right. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wrote French.
He's like, I wrote French. Like, no, you didn't. You did not
came up
create
with
this
French.
language. So that guy's full of it. So
Yeah.
at least now we know that.
Did you tell us about Shady Race?
I think so. Oh, I should say at the end, 2 or more pairs, you get 50% off with the code DNVR at shadyrays.com. So go grab yourself a couple pairs of sunglasses.
Yep. Go check them out.
I told myself yesterday that I was going to be better at not chiming in with a story about every single partner that we have. And
That's
then I
fine.
did it every single time today. Shoot.
No, that's good. That's good. I
good
mean,
stuff.
that's what these are about. It's about being social.
That's why people listen to the
And
ads.
I just want some Shady Grace.
So because you don't skip through the ads because you might miss something.
Some incredible insight. Yeah.
You
Shall we
might.
jump into the comment section?
Oh, I love the
Read
comment
what the people have to say.
section.
Do we have any super chats coming in? Okay, well, let's hit the comments on the website first. First one coming in from Nurse Dave said, Hey gents and Alexis, 2 quick thoughts. First, any tips for attending my first training camp? Tips on when to line up or supplies to bring? Second, okay, we'll hit that. Sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
Yes,
Shady Rays.
Not above 15% and
Pat.
or 15 and Shady Rays.
I also think the grass, and maybe it's just because they water it so much, is still a little damp on the berm. So I'd highly recommend like a little blanket. You will get those like wet stains on your booty, and I try to avoid those. And then water. Can they bring food and drink it? Like, can they bring water in?
I'm actually not sure. You must
in
be
years
able to.
past, I don't think you're able to bring in food.
I know no food. But people can bring their own water in, right? Like that's
You'd have to be able to.
Yeah, I would
that
think
would be
so.
terrible.
Because
Yeah.
they give you like the free one that's like this big.
Yeah,
but
they
that's
do
not
give you a
enough.
free one when
fill
you walk
your
in. But yeah.
fill your big ol'
Yeah.
thing
Yep.
up with
Yep.
water and bring it because it is hot. Today was actually lovely, I will say, after just a scorcher yesterday. But today was lovely. But yeah,
Lovely.
I think,
Today
lovely,
was freaking
lovely.
hot.
I thought it was nice out. And then parking. I keep showing up like right at 10 o'clock
Yep.
because I don't want to deal with the parking. But everybody keeps saying
it's a good tip.
that if you come earlier, you're fine because there's only 3,000 people. Which shout out to Susie Wargen because she informed me today that the reason why there's only 3,000 fans allowed is because of the fire department, not because Sean Payton wanted to like limit
Yep.
this crowd. Which I said yesterday, and not a single person here was like, "No, Alexis, it's the fire. It's the fire
Wow.
department."
I would have told you.
No one told me,
I would have told you.
but like it's the fire department.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't correct me.
Small potatoes. I'm not going to correct you on small potatoes.
I don't know.
For
the fans who, like,
Was that a
listen-
Vicism?
Small
Vic-
potatoes.
Small potatoes?
Oh,
I think so.
Huh.
I think it was
I
a
don't
Vic
know.
Fangio
Ooh.
statement.
Death by
There's a
inches.
new Frank Clark-ism. At the end of the day.
Is that what he says?
Oh.
At the end of the day. Go if you want to go back and watch how many times he says at the end of the day. It's pretty crazy.
At the
What
end of the
time is
day.
the end of his day? You know.
That's a good question. When is the end of the day? If somebody would ask
When
that at
is
the
your end of the day?
end. It depends. Yesterday was like 10. No,
Oh, so it's a time.
Oh,
When's your end of the day? Because mine's not a time.
yours is a an action? Is
Yeah,
it a thing?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when my evening shower
Okay.
is
Oh.
probably,
End of the day.
and because I shower every single day, 2 to 3 times a day. I'm weird.
Oh, wow.
But I would say my evening shower is probably when I'm like, and I'm clocking out. This is now relaxing.
Yeah,
It's
I'd
the
say
end of
when
my
the
day.
when my head hits the pillow.
Really?
End of the day.
That is the
End
end
of
of
the
the
day.
day.
Yep.
That makes the
But
most
yours is
sense.
10. Yours is 10:30 last night.
That was about 10:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is good. Food is not allowed. Thank you.
Food is not
emotional
allowed. There we
support.
go. And now he goes on and says, second, should Javonte Williams' nickname be Wolverine? After he heals quicker than any human I know. Peace, love, and applesauce. Nurse Dave.
He has some Wolverine qualities. Like the way he moves is kind of Wolverine-ish.
But Pookie's so good.
Pookie is good.
It's unique.
Pookie it's actually his dad's nickname.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
it's a family nickname. His dad was nicknamed Pookie, and because I think they share the same name, or it was like I think there was like a family friend, coach, uncle, something like that.
Okay.
Just continued the Pookie Williams nickname.
I like it.
with
I
the-
like it. I like family nicknames.
I'll try to research that a little bit more and update you guys on Monday.
That's good to
But
know.
that's where Pookie came from. But I
Pookie.
like Wolverine.
Yeah, I do too.
He has like a little bit
It
of
makes
like
makes a lot of
Oh,
sense.
hair
yeah, he
going a little
does.
too right now.
Any claws coming out?
Probably no claws.
No, he's such a nice, like mellow.
He
like,
is
what kind
nice.
Of yeah,
The Broncos running backs in general are nice.
all of them.
They're all nice.
Very soft spoken too.
Yeah.
Could hardly hear
Yeah.
today.
That's right.
It's so crazy. It's what's that? There's definitely a quote about this. But like they're very very soft until they're
Speak softly and carry a big stick.
something like that.
That
no,
could
it's
be
like
the
no,
one.
it's like something like tiptoe until you bite or something like that.
Tiptoe
It's
till you bite. I
definitely
don't know
not
that
that,
one.
but it's something
That
like
could be a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
You should put that on a shirt.
Someone help me out. You guys know the quote that I'm talking about, but it's like yeah, something like that. Walk around quietly and then you just attack or something like that.
There's being
Someone's
mean
gonna
to
help
me
us
in the
out. Someone's
chat.
gonna help us out. Okay,
Just-
people are being mean to you.
That's not true. I
What?
shower daily.
Hank showers 2 to 3 times. It's true. Yep. Hank rarely showers, especially on days like today when he sweats. He counts that as a shower.
That's not true. I showered this morning. I'll go to the gym if my toe feels up to it and I have time, and then I'll shower again.
Well, we'll get out of here after a question from the account says, Hank, what was your 15-minute time philosophy thing again?
Oh boy, this
Like
one's
you
a
only
throwback.
account for the hours in quarters or something like that? It was genius, and I need to bring it back to my daily life.
Yeah.
Love, your biggest damn fan, the count.
At the time, I had a pretty strong belief that there were just too many times, just kind of unnecessary. So if you just turn every 15 minutes into 1 minute, then you have like right now is 3:45, perfect. So it'd actually be 3:3. So you go 3, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, and that's 4. And so they get out of like because nobody actually says like, oh, it's 3:48. Like no, it's 3:45. So what's the point? Just make time more reasonable. Then everything's just segmented out. Gotta go somewhere. Oh, like 15 minutes or a
And then
minute.
Do you round up, round down? Like at what point does it turn to 3-1 or 3-2?
Somebody else has to care about this time system before we start worrying about things like the
Then
details.
it's never going to happen.
Probably not.
Yeah,
no,
probably not.
It didn't last long.
Alexis, does this make sense to you?
No, I feel like that. I keep quoting
Yeah.
Adam Sandler movies, but it's like Billy Madison, where I'm just like, we've all become. How does he say? Like we've all become dumber for hearing you.
That's
We
the
will
one.
award you
That's
no
the one.
points, and may God have mercy on your soul. I just feel a
That's
little.
the one.
Yeah, I lost a couple IQ points listening to you.
That's
Hank.
fair enough.
But
I
that's
think
what
that's
happens
why
when
the
I
count
listen
wanted
to
to hear
Chiefs
me say it
fans.
again. Oh no, not that.
Day.
Before we go,
long.
Yes.
the play of the day.
Yes.
Ben freaking Powers.
Oh.
We can talk about this. Blowing up PJ Musters. The first play of team drills. It was like the blindside Michael Orr type block where he was going and going and going. The hole was massive.
Yep.
It was unbelievable. And that was, I guess yesterday had the good block in the big scramble too. But my goodness, there were a couple times that offensive line. I think that's why I said the pressure wasn't bad today. It was mostly that there were enough plays that they made in the running game where it's like, holy cow.
Yeah.
That I kind of, the top of my mind was that stuff. But if you want more of those plays like that, or I mean, there's a bunch of stuff in here. Then be on the lookout tonight. We'll have the notes up. And also yesterday's are up too if you want to see those.
What was your play of the day? As we head out.
My play of the day, probably Pat Surtain's breakup.
Okay.
I mean, just absolutely smothering coverage deep downfield. And that was the difference between, if he would have picked it, Russ would have had
Yeah.
a bad day.
Yep.
If he wouldn't have picked it and would have allowed the catch, Russ would have had a great day because it would have been a 70-yard touchdown to end camp.
Yeah. Okay.
What was
So-
yours, Alexis?
the two-toe tap McGee was pretty nice.
Two-toe
was good.
tap McGee.
That was like probably actually the play of the day, like from a fan perspective.
It was right in front of him too.
Just right in
to
front
get
of
the
him
big
too.
cheer.
Yeah, big cheer. I really loved the very first play of 7-on-7. Just a quick shot from Russ to Tim Patrick, just because I like him going to Tim. I like to see the ball in Tim's hands right now, because I think that's a confidence builder for him. And he's such a confident guy anyways, but it's just nice to see the ball in his hands, especially after last year.
Yep, I completely love it. I love Alexis rolling with us.
Yes.
Henry, check out his work over at DNVR.com, where he's going to have a full breakdown of today's practice. We've also got some videos up on YouTube, so check it all out. We are going to check out for tonight and tomorrow. We'll be back with you Monday on the DNVR Broncos podcast. Enjoy your Sunday off before Sundays are filled with football. We'll see you then.